Tonight, we turn to a developing story about terror threats against Americans. Word tonight that every American embassy across the Muslim world has been ordered to close this coming Sunday, August 4th. There is a new and mysterious security concern, and here's ABC's Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz.
The threat is credible and serious. A senior U.S. official telling ABC News there is a specific threat, a concerted effort against a U.S. embassy or consulate. We just don't know what the specific target is. Another U.S. official adding there could be other targets, not just embassies. Beginning Sunday, some of our biggest embassies will be closing, including Egypt, Iraq, and Kuwait. There has not been a mass closing of embassies and consulates due to an intelligence threat since the first anniversary of 9/11. Normally, an ambassador would make the determination, but this time it is Washington ordering the embassies to close down. And while the closures right now are just for Sunday, they could be extended for several days as U.S. intelligence works vigorously to get more specifics. Diane.
Story still unfolding. Thank you, Martha Raddatz.
We're going to show you something tonight that receives very little attention. Not many people are even aware of the extent of the issue we're going to discuss with you here tonight. The president turns 52 Sunday, and we want to wish President Obama happy birthday. There's been some early celebration.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر 1/8/2013 مدينة حمص انفجار مستودعات الذخيرة جنوب حمص الله أكبر الله أكبر انفجارات رهيبة جدا جدا الله أكبر الله أكبر ما يحدث في مدينة حمص الله أكبر الله أكبر رحمك يا الله. يا الله يا الله اللهم نصرك يا رب يا الله يا الله.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Brett Baer in Washington. Due to the threat of terror attacks, the State Department is preparing to close or keep closed for a certain amount of time certain embassies and consulates in various hotspots around the Middle East, such as Egypt, Iraq, and Afghanistan. But that list could be a lot longer. A spokesman says the department has obtained information and that it's making the move out of an abundance of caution. We are continuing to follow this breaking story. We'll have more for you when we get it, those embassies and consulates closing for terror threats.
And we are getting our first look at a stunning speech written for Queen Elizabeth 30 years ago. It was prepared in case of a nuclear war. The speech was revealed yesterday in declassified British government documents. The Queen would have said, "Our brave country must again prepare itself to survive against great odds." The speech ends, "Let us pray for our country and men of goodwill, wherever they may be. God bless you all."
And she never had to deliver it. That's good.
Then we have another story still developing out of D.C. tonight. Word that the State Department will order U.S. embassies in dozens of different cities shut down, primarily in the Middle East, and on this coming Sunday, notable because it's in nations where Sunday would normally be a workday. U.S. officials say it's in response to a threat they've picked up on. So far, they're not being specific. Our justice correspondent, Pete Williams, watching all of it, also in our D.C. newsroom. Pete, good evening.
Brian, good evening. American officials say this is in response to al-qaeda related intelligence from the Middle East that was specific about a period of time and mentioning an unspecified threat to U.S. diplomatic posts overseas. So in response, the State Department says it will shut down all embassies this Sunday that would normally be open. Now, that's mostly in the Middle East and North Africa, including the big ones in Cairo, Tel Aviv, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, along with Baghdad, Kabul, Kuwait City, dozens of embassies and consulates. A State Department notice says, quote, "It is possible we may have additional days of closings as well, depending on our analysis." And that'll be a big challenge for the U.S. government deciding whether to extend the shutdown, because if it goes beyond Sunday, as it appears it might, then it would affect American embassies in many countries throughout the world, since they would all normally be open on Monday. U.S. officials aren't saying much about the threat, just that it was tied to the month-long Muslim period of fasting known as Ramadan, which ends around this time of the year.
All right, Pete Williams with this late story out of D.C. tonight. Pete, thanks.